Everyone, it's your boy Matt. It's 14 July 2025. I do not know what to call this video. This entire thing has been a situation, horrendous exploitation of me. It has been what my high school history teacher would say is that I am a marginalized voice or a silenced voice. I was involved in a lot of pretty systematic white-collar crime, what needs to be considered, if I'm honest, for an organisation, because people like Fred Sashini, they're more similar, they're just as similar to people who are in the mafia, to anything else. What happened is that I had a bad relationship with my boss, bad working relationship. She wasn't cut out for managing the kind of situations which I was facing. I was dealing with potentially life and death situations, and I had this incredibly mediocre woman who'd never done work at that level, never, and if she did a fucking shit job of it, because most of the time I see it done, it's shit, but who wasn't even in the community. And I found myself with clients who had been just chronically negligently treated, and they had all been under this person's, in a support network under this woman's instructions. So it was the previous, many of them anyway, the previous psych just had not done their job. And it's, as things are in the NDIS, it's the entire system's built around people taking the least amount of responsibility for a situation, because that reduces their legal liability, and seeing themselves as having the least responsibility possible, because the less responsibility they have, the less service they need to provide. The less service they provide, the more money they get. So you'll just have these chronically neglected people, and I found a few of them under her instruction. And when you have Uber Health, not under her instruction, under her chain of command, I suppose you could call it. It's very strange to me why managers in these broken systems aren't held accountable. Like, they're the ones who, on the scale of things, are responsible for more suffering than anything else, right? They need to be able to know what's going the fuck on, and if they can't, they shouldn't be in the business. And it was very much that case with Care Squared Kids, at least under this regional manager. I think everything in the NDIS is a bit like this. There's varying degrees, but my caseload was primarily complex cases because there wasn't anyone in Canberra who was able to do it. And because I grew up, started in the profession dealing with de-escalating violent situations and working with complex presentations from the start. That's where I first started working as a support worker. I ended up being the person in Canberra who was the junior psych who was responsible for many of those cases. There just wasn't really a service at the time doing that work. And she just, I got my clients through her. I did the work. I did exceptional work, exceptional. I'm sure there's going to be some little bitch complain about something in there on the whole at the whole scheme. There's certainly going to be times where I didn't make the perfect decision, but on the whole, for what I was dealing with that caseload, my performance is bloody fucking admirable. Particularly when I was working with these group of cutthroat sociopaths who have very little actual interest in the clients or the community, feel very little responsibility to them as healthcare professionals. Otherwise, their condition would not have deteriorated as horrible as it had been. And when I left, I tried to transfer my clients onto different practitioners. They wouldn't let me do it. They wouldn't let me fucking do it. So I had these group of chronically hurt people, and I tried to see one in my car because they were so fucked up. But then my car broke, so I couldn't see them anymore. And it was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, these guys they are heartless, and they are not at an ethical, like at a standard that we can tolerate. And either way, when I made my complaint, my first complaint about this problem, my first complaint,